Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, everyone. Today from Group 5, we are gonna present about pragmatic dimension about speech, act, and translation. Our group consists with myself is Muhammad Haruno. The second one is Puji Astuti, and the last one is Sukma Cahayaningsih. For the first presenter of this presentation, I will give the time to Sukma Cahayaningsih. The time is yours, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Haruno. Next slide. Okay, now I wanna tell you about the pragmatic dimension. Sorry. The pragmatic dimension is in the context of communication and linguistics refers to the practical aspect of language use, including how language is used in different social contexts to achieve specific goals or outcomes. It involves understanding the intention behind communication as well as the social norms and convention that influence language use. Next. Pragmatic encompasses various aspects of language use, such as speech aids, conversational implicature, politeness, basis, presupposition, and entailment. And the last one is speech accommodation. Next. Speech act. Speak act refer to the action performed through language beyond the literal meaning of the words. They involve the speakers conveying intention and accomplishing text through speech. Speech act theory developed by philosophers such as G.L. Austin and later expanded by John Searle. Categories speech act into various types based on their function. Slide berikutnya akan dipresentasikan oleh teman saya, Puji Astuti. Pada Puji Astuti dipersilakan.
Okay, thank you Sukma Cahayaningsih for the time. I will to presenting about speech act can be classified into different categories, including 5 speech act, include assert types, direct types, commissive, expressive, declarations. Next slide. And this is the explanation about speech act classified. Number 1, assertive utterance that convey belief of statements about the world. For example, it's raining outside is an assertive speech act where the speaker asserts a fact about the weather. Second, utterances that attempt to get the hearer to do something. Example include request, please pass the salt, command, close the door, and invitation. Would you like to join us for dinner? Third, commissive utterances that commit the speaker to a future course of actions. These include promises, and you can see the example on the slide. And the fourth, utterances that express the speaker's physiological state or attitude towards some things. And the last, declarations, utterances that brings about a change in the external world solely through the act of speaking. Example include pronunciation, someone marriage. This example, this word I know pronounce you husband and wife. Declaring someone guilty as charged and firing firing someone's, you are to fire. Next slide. Definitions of translations is closely related to the pragmatic aspect of speech acts. When translating speech acts from one language to another, it's essential to consider not only the literal meaning of the words, but also the intended illocutionary force and the cultural context behind them. And the next slide will be presenting with Haruno. For the time is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Puji. And the next slide is translation intersects with the pragmatic aspect of speech acts. The first one is illusionary force. Speech acts convey illusionary force, which refers to the intended function or force behind the utterance. Example, asserting, requesting, and promising. Translator must accurately convey this illusionary force in the target language to ensure that the translated speech acts achieve the same communicative effect as the original. The second one is cultural context. Pragmatic aspects such as politeness, indirectness, and social conventions vary across culture and influence the way speech acts are performed. Translators need to understand these cultural nuances, adapt their translation accordingly to maintain the intended illusionary force while respecting cultural norms. And the third is direct and versus indirect speech acts. Some speech acts are performed indirectly in the certain language or cultures, while they may be expressed more directly in others. Translators must navigate this difference and choose appropriate linguistic strategies to convey the intended illusionary force effectively in the target language. The fourth one is preserving intent. In translation, it's crucial to preserve the speaker intended meaning and communicative intent behind speech acts. This may require linguistic creativity and cultural sensitivity to accurately convey the pragmatic aspect of the original speech act in the translated text. The number 5 is the pragmatic equivalence. Achieving pragmatic equivalence between the source and target language is essential in the translating speech acts. Translators aim to ensure that the translated speech act produce a similar effect on the target audience as the original, taking into account cultural and linguistic difference. And the last slide is, in summary, the pragmatic dimension, speech acts, and translation are interwoven components of language and communication. Pragmatics provides the theoretical framework for understanding language used in context. Speech acts represents the action performed through language, and translation involves transferring meaning while considering pragmatic factors. Together, this concept highlights the complexity of the communication across language and cultures and the importance of considering pragmatic aspect in translations to achieve accurate and effective communication. That's all from our group. If you have any question or maybe you want add any information about this topic, you can suggest or add on the comment section. That's all from us. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.